Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be testing some more new makeup. Basically, products have been dropping like hotcakes and I'm trying to keep up, like test everything. I've still got tons of stuff that I want to test as well, like the Mitchell palette, the Glam Light paint palette. I mean, there's just like a long queue of videos coming your way. But today we have new foundation, new eyeshadow palette, new contour palette, new highlight palette. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. Before I get started, can I just say, listen, it is silent in my house. My kids have gone back to school today. Woohoo! There's finally peace in my house for a couple more hours anyway. So let's just go ahead and slap this makeup on before they come back. First of all, I have a new Smashbox Foundation to test. This is their Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. They sent this over to me, but they also sent a mini primerizer, which I've never tried before as well. So this is meant to be a primer and a moisturizer in one. So I haven't moisturized my face. I do have like a hydrating serum as usual, and my vitamin C, of course. It says it plumps and moisturizes with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, sets in seconds so makeup goes on fast, skin feels comfortable all day. So let's just go ahead and try this. I'm gonna pump it straight onto my face. Feels very liquidy. It feels like a serum. I think if you have dry skin, this would be a very good primer for you, but for me, I feel like I need something a little bit more mattifying for my skin type, which, if you are new here, is oily, by the way. But because this is a 24-hour foundation, it says weightless feel, oil and shine control. I'm assuming it's a matte foundation. So I have the shade 4.15. It says skin tone dark, undertone cool. I did have two other shades, but I don't think they're for me. They're quite light, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one. And this is what the packaging looks like. So it comes in a squeezy tube and you can kind of see the shade there. So that is the shade of it there, and that is it compared to the bottle. So the bottle is kind of spot on to the shade how it comes out. I don't know about cool undertone. That does look pretty warm, like that does look pretty orange in my opinion, but we're gonna go ahead and test it. So I'm just gonna squirt like that much onto my face. Should we do side by side? Yeah, let's do side by side. So we're gonna start with that much. I'm gonna kind of spread it across the face. Okay, so I'm going to blend it in with a brush as usual. I always blend my foundation with a brush. So I'm just going to begin dabbing that in. Yeah, the undertone's really warm. Why does no brand think that, you know, people my skin tone have neutral olive undertones? Do you know what I might do? I might get the other two shades to show you guys the difference, but this looks so orange. The coverage is, wow, amazing. Yeah, the coverage is amazing, and it is drying down to a matte finish. 100%, hold on, 100% full coverage. Wow, I cannot see any of my scars, but it feels so lightweight. Like, it doesn't feel heavy or like thick, goopy. I am obsessed with the dry down. It has dry down matte, which you guys know I love. Mattifying foundations are my thing because I know they're just gonna last on my oily skin. Also, I got this little necklace in the post today. How cute is that? It says Tammi. It's from a brand called Coyote. So if you guys want to get some cute jewelry pieces, definitely check them out. And I've had a couple necklaces from them for like possibly a year and they haven't turned color. Really, really nice jewelry pieces. But anyways, this foundation, it is matte, girl. This is matte. If you have dry skin, I feel like this will accentuate dry patches just because it is so matte. Like, can you see like the hydration on this side of my face compared to no glow, no radiance on this side? I'm so glad I didn't use a mattifying primer because it doesn't need it at all. 100% dries down matte. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. Let me do the other side of my face. I only used a small amount as well. Wow. Okay, so I just went and grabbed the other two shades that I have just in case you guys are interested. So I have the shade 4, which is medium dark warm peach undertone. So that is the shade 4. And then the last shade they sent is 4.05, which is described as dark with warm peach undertones as well. And this is what this one looks like. I feel like this one could fit me in winter once my tan kind of goes. But yeah, that is what that one looks like. So that's 4.05, 4, and then 4.15. Oh, I totally forgot to use the brush that they sent me. It has my name on it as well. How cute. This is the Smashbox Blurring Foundation brush, and I literally had it on my desk in front of me and I forgot to use it. So now we're going to move on to eyeshadow, and I have the Naked Honey palette here to use. So this palette has 12 exclusive shades and they're perfect for creating a swarm of looks from bright and sunny to dangerously seductive. I don't think the palette is that versatile. I think you can get pretty neutral, you know, browny warm tone looks, not warm tone but like yellow tone looks. It says it's available online at urbandecay.co.uk from the 13th of September and nationwide from the 26th of September, and it retails for £42. So this is what the packaging looks like. Really, really nice golden packaging, and then these are the shades on the inside. It's a pretty neutral toned yellowy palette. I think maybe if you took this bright yellow, I'm trying to cover it, if you took this bright yellow out, it is quite a neutral palette. So I did pull out a couple palettes from my collection that I already have, that you might already have, that I think are pretty similar and like could possibly create very similar looks. This is just so you don't buy something that you basically already have. So first of all, the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, this is what this one looks like. You have those kind of neutral warm tone yellowy browns as well, and you also have that gold in the corner. Hold on, let me take the brush out. Yeah, so you have like those kind of transition-y neutral browns there, and you have that yellow gold here. Let me hold them up side by side so you guys can see. So that is that. Another palette that I thought was pretty similar is this Sample Beauty one. I don't know what it's called because it doesn't have a name on it. It just says, oh, it's right there on the front. This is called the Rain palette, and this one is once again a neutral palette with that pop of yellow gold right there. So you have these kind of transition-y yellow toned colors, this one here as well, but you also have like the orangey browns and deeper browns. I think this palette might be darker skin friendly than the Urban Decay one. And then last but not least, one of my favorites, which I highly recommend. This is the Shop September Rose Brew palette, and this one is just perfect for fall, but you also have those kind of yellowy toned mattes that you can put in the crease, and then you have that pop of yellow up there as well. And this palette I believe is only £20, so I mean it's half the price, but you also get those deeper tones that would work on darker skin. So yeah, these are just a few alternatives that one, you might already have, or two, you might just want to save some money and get a similar type of palette. So anyways, I'm not saying don't get this one. I'm just saying you might already have something similar. I'm going in with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. They also sent this over along with the palette, so I'm just going to use this because I'm assuming it's, you know, like the best fit for the palette. It comes with a doe foot. Don't feel like the doe foot has any product on it. That's better. So I'm just gonna put this all over the lid. It's not one of those full coverage eyeshadow primers that I'm used to. It's quite a thin primer, I suppose. This is the brush that comes in the palette, so you have like a flat side for shimmers and then a fluffy side for blending. So I'm going to take a fluffier brush just to diffuse the color into the crease, and I think the first shade I'm going to go into is Hive, which is this cool toned clay type of olive brown here. That was a very long description. Cool tone clay olive. This color looks very similar to my skin tone. Yeah, it is my skin tone, and I'm just going to pop that into the crease and blend that out. Okay, so just as I expected, Urban Decay shadows always do this. They do apply slightly darker than how they look in the pan, which for me is a plus because I need things to show up on my skin tone, of course. But for lighter skin, you might, you know, want to start down the lighter side. But for me, this is a gorgeous transition color and it is blending beautifully. As for this primer, it's not what I'm used to, but it's definitely doing its job. It's like grabbing the shadow, it's blending pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and take the shade next to it, which is called Drip. It's just slightly darker and a little bit warmer. I'm going to take that on the same brush and start that on the outer V, just building that darkness. Yeah, see, that looks a lot more cool toned than I was expecting. I'm pretty happy with how the shades are performing, but they're not shades that I don't already have, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take the brush that came in the palette and I'm going to dip into the darkest brown in this palette, which is called Sting. And I'm going to run that kind of along the lash line. See, that almost looks like a charcoal black brown. Dipping back into Drip, which is this color here. I'm just going to use that to kind of diffuse that eyeliner type of smoky thing that I just put down. So far, do you not feel like you already have these colors in your collection? That is that, and you could totally leave that as a look, but of course I want to go in with a shimmer. So I'm gonna go into this gorgeous greeny color called Queen. I'm gonna take that on my finger. It's like a forest gold, dirty gold green, and this color's going onto the lid, of course. And do you know what's funny, guys? There's some people that say they don't like my first palette because of the shape of the eyeshadow pans, but I 100% guarantee you they have an Urban Decay Naked palette in their collection, so I just find that funny. So anyways, that is that green shade, and it definitely looks kind of more yellowy on the eyes. Really, really nice quality shimmer though. Going back into that drip shade once again, and I'm just blending that in between the green and the dark smoky liner that we did. Might even re-intensify that dark liner with Sting. Just running that across the lash line. Love a good smoky eyeliner with neutral looks like this. Because I don't actually do eyeliner anymore. Like I haven't done eyeliner in months. Partly because of laziness, but partly because sometimes I like the look without it. No, it's mostly because of laziness. Don't lie, Tammy. Okay, so that is the look so far. I definitely like it. I mean, it is a brown smoky with a gorgeous green, which I absolutely love. So for my inner corner, I'm gonna go into, of course, that gorgeous bright yellow shade called Honey. And I'm just gonna pat that onto the inner corner. Yeah, I was expecting this color to be gorgeous, of course. Definitely my favorite color from the palette. This one on my ring finger is the Urban Decay, and then this one on the middle finger is the September Rose. Like they're literally the same shade. Let me swatch them. So that is Urban Decay, and then this is September Rose. So yeah, they're literally the same. On the eyes, they will do the same thing, guys. Okay, so next I have a new mascara to test. This is the Milani Highly Rated mascara. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Highly Rated. Did you guys hear Milani's actually coming to Boots very soon? So Boots are just snatching up all these brands. Like seriously, can't wait to see what they bring to the UK. I hope it's not like Wet n Wild, where they bought just like the light shades for everything, the light foundation, the light concealer, the light everything. The only kind of things from Wet n Wild that I was interested in was the eyeshadow palettes, but the shade selections are just not my thing for someone that has so much eyeshadow. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm rambling on. This is the mascara. This is what it looks like. It's black with gold. Let's see what the wand looks like. Oh, that looks super nice and fluffy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and coat my lashes with this, and let's see what it does, what it do, what it is. What's up? Got you in the cut. Hey, do you know what? I haven't had breakfast yet, and I feel like having toast with honey. I don't know if it's the palette or what, but I feel like toast with honey, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay guys, so there we have one coat of the mascara, and I definitely like what it's done to my lashes. Like it's definitely lengthened, thickened and blackened. Of course, I don't feel like it's the most length I've ever had from a mascara, but it definitely is a good mascara. I would definitely use this again. How many times can I say definitely in a minute? Let me know. And of course I've got it on my outer V. I mean, of course, this happens to me every day. But yeah, I definitely think that is a cute mascara. Of course, side by side. I'm gonna do my other eye, put some lashes on, and come back to you guys. I'm also gonna have a little bit of toast with honey. Okay guys, now I'm back. So I've gone ahead and put some lashes on. I also had some breakfast and it was delicious. So now we're gonna go ahead and continue this face. So we're gonna start with primer. Concealer. I'm testing the new Natasha Denona. Well, it's not new, but I picked it up like new for myself. I picked it up in Sephora, so it's new to me. But this is the Transfix Matte Concealer, and I got the shade 18WY Warm Yellow. So let's see. So this is what the packaging looks like, and it comes with like a long doe foot. Oh, smells a bit like fish. Yeah. It doesn't smell too great, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and, ooh, the doe foot feels really nice and like smooth underneath the eyes. So we're gonna go ahead and spread that. Ooh, and I'm gonna blend that in. It is a matte concealer, or meant to be a matte concealer, so I'm not gonna let it set down. I'm just gonna blend it right in. Oh my god, I've missed using this sponge. I've been using the Real Techniques one for the past couple days, and this is the e.l.f. facial sponge, and this is so much softer. I need to pick up a new one of these because this one's pretty old. But 100% better than the Real Techniques in my opinion. That's my opinion. You know that meme? I love that. It makes me laugh every single time. Yeah, the concealer's blending out really, really well, and it has really good coverage. Like, you never know when it comes to a foundation and a new concealer, because it could separate, it could, you know, not mix well together, but these are mixing beautifully. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. What do you guys think? I think for $25 a Natasha Denona concealer, pretty happy with that. So something that is not new to me, I have used it once before for an Instagram video, but it's new to my channel. This is the Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. I have used the shade medium before, the Born This Way medium powder, but it was just a bit too dark to go underneath my eyes. So I got the translucent shade, and I love this underneath the eyes. It's so flawless, and it is the perfect like melting in translucent shade, unlike previous powders that we've tried before. No shade, no tea. So I'm just going to take it on my sponge and set that concealer. Now, I've never used this powder with this concealer, obviously, because I've never used this concealer before, but I hope it works. This powder feels like silk on the face. It just feels so smooth. If you've tried this Too Faced powder before, let me know your thoughts, because I cannot be the only one loving it. I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder and just like reverse contour. Oh, that's what's missing from my face. I usually cream contour like every day. It's something I've gotten into. My two favorites that I use every day is the Revolution foundation stick, but also I've been loving the Huda Beauty Tantour in medium. Oh my god, that formula blends like a dream. I saw someone did a video, PR products that I would repurchase. That Tantour is one of them. That is a product that I will go out and buy myself, even though I've been using it pretty much every day and I feel like I've barely made a dent. Okay, no, I definitely have made a dent, but we haven't hit pan yet, so there's time. But I definitely would repurchase it, even though it is pretty expensive. It blends like butter on toast. It just melts into your face. I absolutely love it. But so does the Revolution foundation stick. That one blends like a dream as well. But yeah, that's what's missing from my face. I didn't cream contour today because I wanted the foundation to kind of stand by itself. And I have a new contour palette. So this is from Makeup Obsession and it's called Throw Shade. Oh, actually I forgot to do a face powder. I'm all over the place. Let me get my face powder. So also I've been loving the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder in Toffee. I feel like Too Faced powders, I don't know what it is. I know what it is. It just looks so flawless on the face. I just can't stop using them. So yeah, like I was saying, Makeup Obsession has this Throw Shade palette, which is like a contour palette. I wish they would come out with smaller duos or like trios rather than a whole palette, because I wouldn't use like these 5 shades here. I could use that for highlight, and then I can use these 2 for contour and bronzer. But this one, I don't even know what this is. I think this is a shimmery bronzer, but it's like grey toned. It's like really cool toned. I don't know who would use that, but yeah, I wish they would just come out with like this as a trio, that as a trio, that as a trio, because just to have this whole palette, I don't see myself reaching for it. When it comes to bronzer and contour, I do prefer like small things like compacts and stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is called Queen. And let's put that. Oh yes, it's showing up on my skin tone. Love it. Okay, so here we have the contoured bronzed side. I definitely feel like it's more of a contour than a bronzer, but it is called a contour palette, so I mean, I can't hate on it that much because it's not really claiming to be a bronzer. But yeah, that is the contour side versus the not contoured side. You can definitely see that shadow right there. So yeah, it works on my skin tone, which is always a plus. And because they still have one shade darker than that, this one here, it would definitely work on people darker than me. But like I said, the big palette just to use 1 or 2 shades. And Obsession also launched this So Lit, which is a highlighter palette, and similar thoughts. Are you really going to use every highlight in here? You're definitely not. But this is what the palette looks like. So you have like 3 fair, 3 medium, 3 deep, I'm assuming. Of course you can use whatever you want, because I'm most likely going to use this fire orange shade over here because it looks gorgeous. Let's see. Oh wow, that's cute. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna take my contour brush and kind of dab over it to blend it in. I do this sometimes when I'm not wearing blush, just so like the bronzer and the highlight melt together. Do you know what I love about Obsession? You can take the shades out and put them into your own palette. So for example, but you'd have to have all of the shades that you want to do that. So for example, this blush palette from Obsession, Isn't It Peachy? I took 2 of the pinky shades from their other one because originally they had 2 light peaches and then these 2 deep peaches. So what I did was take the 2 dark pinks out of that palette and put it into this palette. So now I have a blush full of darkest shades that would work for me. So that's what I kind of love about Obsession. I don't generally use this one, so I could take that out and put this highlighter shade into this palette and kind of make my own custom palette. But you would have to have multiple palettes to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? Rather than picking one, how do I say this? I wish they did do this originally when they launched as a brand, but I wish they offered the shades individually rather than having to buy the palette to customize it, if that makes sense. That's just my thoughts anyway. But as for this highlight, stunning. It sits on the skin beautifully and it just looks so glowy. So what I'm gonna do is quickly set my face, and I'm gonna use something new from Revolution. This is the Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Fixing Spray. It says long wear oil control with hyaluronic acid, so it's meant to be hydrating but long wear and oil control. That is, wow, like everyone's dream in a bottle. Well, definitely my dream in a bottle anyway. Ooh, powerful. That was a lot. Did you really need that much? Yes, I did. It smells like Revolution's typical setting sprays. They all kind of have this, not chemical spray, but it has, you know, if you've used a Revolution setting spray, you know what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so can we just get into this skin? This is so flawless, like, wow. The concealer is definitely creasing underneath my eyes. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna go in quickly with the same browns and just smoke out my lower lash line. I just blended out the brown low enough to cover that crease. Now I'm gonna go in with the mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, so this setting spray, I feel like it has set my face, but I don't know if it's because I have a matte foundation, matte concealer and powder. It hasn't given me the glow or the like skin-like finish that I usually like on my face. It does still feel pretty matte. Now for lips, I have the NARS lipstick. I don't know if you guys saw, probably because everyone's been getting the PR package. They came out with loads of lipsticks for their 25th birthday. I think it was something like 75 or 25 lipsticks, something like that, something 5 lipsticks. So first I'm just going to line my lips with the Revolution liner as usual, Glory. And then I have this lipstick which is called Honolulu Honey. Everything today is honey. This is a bright peachy pale nude which I thought would go nice with the eyes. So let's just apply that. And it also comes in their red packaging. I don't know if this is limited edition or a special line. I don't know. Why is this not coming out? It's like very sheer. But I think they have different types of lipsticks in the line. So obviously some of them are super pigmented, some of them are sheer like this one. So what I'm gonna do is go on top of it with this Urban Decay lipstick in the shade Insanity, which is also this kind of peachy shade. Yeah, you see how that just gives me color? Yeah, it's giving me like coverage on my lips. I'm also going to top it with this lip gloss that I got from Shiseido. It's called their Crystal Gel Gloss. I used this for the first time the other day and it is beautiful. It made my lips look so juicy and plump. Like, look at that. Does that not look so juicy and glossy? This Shiseido gloss is my new go-to, yes. I might set my face with another spray. The one that I've been loving lately is this Too Faced Hangover Spray that I tested in my last video. Not my last video, my last testing video. Oh, this is gonna give me the glow. Okay, so let me sort this hair out and I'll be back to you guys with my final look and my final thoughts. Okay guys, and I'm back. So here we have the final look. What do you think? I think it looks really cute and this foundation looks really flawless. So my thoughts on everything quickly. The foundation is definitely worth a look in. I think it looks so flawless. If you are into a full coverage matte foundation, which I am, I feel like you would really like this foundation. And it makes me really happy because all of the foundations I've been testing recently have been hydrating and luminous and radiant, and I'm just like, my oily skin doesn't like it. As for this eyeshadow palette, it's Urban Decay, so I mean the shadows are pigmented, they blend really well, the shimmers look really nice on the eyes, not texturizing. Everything worked beautifully. But between me and you, let's be real, you already have these shades. I know you do. If you're an eyeshadow lover like I am, I would say go through your collection and just see if you have any of these yellow toned, olivey toned browns with a shimmery gold. You probably do, girl. I really like the palette, but I want you guys to make informed purchases, not just, oh, it's new, I need to have it. Like, if you already have browns in your collection, look through those palettes and see if any of them look like this, because to be honest, they most likely do. The only standout thing from this palette is this yellow gold, but if you have the September Rose one, you most likely have this gold, because I showed you guys the swatches. If you don't have these shades, then definitely go for it. The palette is quality and the shades blend beautifully. Shimmers are stunning, but the only way that you don't have shades like this is if you're completely new to makeup. I am convinced, because usually if you just start getting into makeup, these are the types of shades that people buy. But I do like it, don't get me wrong, it is a good palette and I'm glad I have it. As for these palettes from Obsession, I definitely like the shades that I used today. They're definitely good quality, so if you are after a contour or a highlight palette, definitely go for it. They're affordable. I think they're in Boots. The Natasha Denona concealer, I'm on the fence about. I didn't like the fact that it creased underneath my eyes so early on into the makeup application. I do kind of expect concealers to crease slightly, but like kind of halfway into the day at least, not just an hour after I applied it. So I will have to keep testing that to get my final decisions on it. But so far, the Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder, flawless, beautiful, so, oh my god, it took away all of my pores and it just looked so smooth. Highly recommend checking out Too Faced complexion products. Their Born This Way concealer that everyone talks about, the fat one, this powder, and also the face powder. This one, 100% recommend checking them out, guys, because they are so flawless on the skin and not cakey either. Really nice complexion products, along with the hangover spray that I've been loving.